Now you're live.
Okay, now we're live. Sorry, I'm a minute late. I did it again, guys.
I did the same thing.
Oh my gosh, thank you for letting me know that I was not live.
Headshot.
Thank you. So I was already talking and it didn't go live. So where was I? I'll just start from the top.
Start from the top.
So today I wanted to come to you with something that is going to help us frame how we're going to be going into 2021. We are, yes, I'm live. Thank you. We are going into a year that we don't know what's happening. We truly don't. Yeah, we came into 2020 probably thinking this is going to be the best year ever, nice round number even. It didn't work out that way. So I want us to go into the end of this year with some clarity, but also a sense of reality. We don't know what's coming. And if we do know what's coming, we know it's not going to be easy. We know that this isn't going away. So I want us to go in with some tools and some ideas and some concepts that are really going to support us no matter what happens. If it's great, awesome. I have these tools. If it's not great, okay, I have these tools. And the first tool that I want to give you before the end of the year is the concept of sovereignty. I want us to be able to understand the difference between sovereignty and actually being a part of something that isn't us. Sorry if you can hear the voice, they're being a little loud right now. But I want us to go into this idea of sovereignty first with some clarity around what I mean when I say sovereignty. I'm not saying it in the political sense or the hierarchical sense. This is a personal, spiritual, soul sovereignty. This is where your ego, or your conditioning, we'll call it, whatever language you want to use. You all know that I interchange, spirit, soul, God, universe, ego, conditioning. These kinds of things are also interchangeable for me. Where your ego or your conditioning and your true self, who you really are underneath all of that you've been given that may or may not be serving you, they get to acknowledge each other. They get to shake hands and say, I see you, I honor you. Because we don't want to say, oh, my conditioning is bad. My conditioning is what's wrong with me, because that's not the point either. So I want you to know that it's a no judgment zone here. And I don't want you to be judging yourself. Equanimity. We want to have just peace with it all. And yes, one of Dr. Tiana's sayings that she says, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a place where your ego gets to have a say in it all, but does not get its way. So we're acknowledging it, but we're also saying, you don't decide anymore. My higher self decides. And it's only when, how do I say this? It's only when your ego introduces itself as exactly what it is, rather than trying to play the mind games and everything. Hi, I'm the ego. I was built by your brain to protect you from things that maybe you don't need protection from anymore. And you get to say, your higher self gets to say, yeah, you're right. I don't need that anymore. Thank you. Thank you for protecting me, doing your job. But now I choose to go kind of on my own a little bit right now. I think I see some comments coming in here. Hello, everybody. Terry, hi. Oh, hey, everybody. Louise, Miche's here. Yes, Miche, self-authority. That's definitely another good word to use for that. So you just want to say thank you for serving me. Whatever it was, that conditioning, even if it sucks to say it out loud, I was told I was stupid and ugly and I was conditioned that way. It served me in its own way. Still trying to figure that out. Tiana, help me out here. But I had to say thank you, no thank you at the same time. So that's what we're talking about with sovereignty. You decide what works for you. You decide where you're going to go with it. So again, like Dr. Tiana says, ego is allowed to have its say, but not its way. So let it say its piece. But then you go and you do what's right for you. That, for me, is the beginning of sovereignty. It all begins when you're finding your true values and your beliefs outside of your cultural or familial conditionings. And there's nothing wrong with your conditionings, but if they're not serving you, if they're holding you back, if they're making you say, well, I can't, or I shouldn't, or I won't, or if I do, my parents might not do this, or if I don't, then my family's going to think that. These things aren't going to be helping you with your sovereignty. Sovereignty also continues when we compassionately, when I say compassionately, I mean with absolute, not even a need for forgiveness, but compassion. When we compassionately let other people be themselves. Maybe they have some conditioning that doesn't serve them and you see it. It doesn't serve you, you see it, but let them be themselves and give yourself absolute compassionate permission even to be your true self. Say, I don't like that. I don't want that. That doesn't serve me. I don't want to believe that anymore. And that's where we start to come into our own and say, no, I decide, not my parents or my high school friends that I don't talk to in decades anyways. What does it matter how they conditioned me? And what does it matter that I allowed them to? Either compassion, no judgment, no categories, no labels. And once we release other people's ideas of who we are or should be, we can now find our true security in ourselves, things that we have absolute control over because we created it. I decide, so I'm in control. And that's where I want everybody to start sitting with themselves. Personal, spiritual, physical, financial security, because you're in charge. And this is where like people are like, how can you be an entrepreneur your whole life? Didn't you ever want security like that? No, I didn't. That doesn't feel like security. If you get fired from a job, you have to go find a new job. Hope somebody thinks that your resume is on nice enough paper or something and find a job. For me now, I'm an entrepreneur. Something doesn't work out, I just figure something else out. I'll just do something else. I don't need to wait for somebody to give me permission to be great for them. I'm great for me because I have that sovereignty. And I want you to be sitting with that. I'm going to be introducing you to 2 women here tonight who are going to help you with that. Their tools are fantastic. And we also 3 use the same tool, one tool that is really exciting that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So as I ramble, in the space of sovereignty, this is where we'll start to see that everything from our relationships to our finances, to our ideas, our aspirations, our hobbies even, we personally require a deeper connection to it. We require more compassion. We absolutely will not do something if there isn't some sort of intentional growth and an intellectual kind of sexiness to it. We just aren't interested. We won't go there. We won't attack that. We won't make those decisions if they don't fill us in this way that serves our sovereignty, and our sovereignty serves our true self. You just won't be making decisions to go into that direction just because, well, maybe, I don't know, I feel like society needs me to do that. You're going to require those deeper connections that help everybody in that connection grow. So we literally will be making decisions based on whether or not these personal requirements, your vision, your mission, your values, your beliefs, even as they change, as you become more and more sovereign, are going to be guiding you into that place where you're maintaining the actual intuition and the intellect that you need to just keep going, regardless of what's happening, because you're sovereign now. Remember, you decide, nobody else. Something happens, pivot. Something works out, great, congratulations, keep going. That's all you need to really worry about. So we want to make sure that we're maintaining that sovereignty by maintaining our alignment, our clarity with who we are. Step 1 is well before that, and that's where the GPS code comes in. But this is a place where I want you to at least feel into, aspire towards for yourself, so that when things hit the fan, like me, for example, Miche, I'm really glad you're here, because oh my gosh, this year, it hit everybody hard, but oh my, she lost everything except for, I think, a singing bowl. She lost it all. And look at her now. If you guys know her story, go to her channel, whatever, Miche, put your information here. It's incredible. She's got that sovereignty. She's like, it didn't work out. That sucked. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? She's got a radio show. She's doing all kinds of awesome stuff. She's like, oh my gosh, abundance everywhere, because she's sovereign like that. She's done the work. I've watched her actually practice that wisdom over the years as I've known her. And it's incredible how she does that. It's amazing. Wow. Tangent. Thank you, Miche, for that though. So I just want us to understand that this is a place where we're not on autopilot anymore, but we're intuitive and we're intentionally in flow. So you guys all know this channel here is about flow. It's what it is. And flow requires sovereignty. In order to stay in flow, get in flow, be in flow, it requires sovereignty. Otherwise, you're going to be pulled in any other direction that you've been culturally conditioned to go in, whether it serves you or your mission or your message or not. You're just going to go and just be the puppet for everybody around you rather than actually be that intentional seat for yourself. You have to understand that if you want flow, it starts with you. It starts with your beliefs, your values, nowhere else, nobody else's. You can't say, I think I need to be in flow because that would be good for my conditioning. Or wouldn't my clients be really happy if I was in flow? No, this is for you. This is very, very personal for you. My boyfriend would really appreciate if I was successful, and I think I need to be into flow so I can be successful. That's not going to work either. You have to let it be about you. Be selfish about it because you're awesome. You deserve that. So step into who you are, how you want to be, why you are. And that's where you're going to really start to find that those conditions just start to fall off. And that's really going to be amazing for you. So there are different levels in which we want to have that sovereignty. Like I said earlier, your mind, your body, your soul, your aspirations, your finances, your health, all of these need to be in alignment in order for you to have true sovereignty. And okay, I've been rambling, and I also need to go tell the kids to be quiet. So this is what I have for you here. I'm going to introduce you to the other ladies. I'm excited about this. So this is the way I have spoken. I am going to let you guys all chat with Dr. Tiana and with Michelle here. So I'm going to have a surprise for you guys. Okay, so let me see here. Tiana, are you there? Can you hear us?
I'm here. I can hear you, Jess. So yes.
You hear the boys? I need to go.
I hear the boys. Yes.
Hi, Johnny. I see you there. Louise, hi. All right, everybody's here. Martine is here. Hey, Martine. Yeah. And Bill. All right. All right. So I'm gonna just move the camera.
There's Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
She is. All right.
Hello.
You take over. I'm gonna go.
Okay, we're doing a switcherooski.
Yes. Jump into the seat.
Yes. So, Dr. Tiana,
Yes, Michelle.
to us. Tell us how your sovereignty fits into this piece of amazing healing.
Well, I'm going to give everyone a riddle that my husband told me decades ago that I acted like I understood it, but I didn't. And you'll understand it when you hear the little riddle, if you could understand it. He said, we all think we have the answers. But he goes, I discovered the cosmic joke and the ultimate secret of the universe. Well, I was all ears. I was like, tell me, what is it? And he says, the ego has a really hard time with this. So I'm going to give it in an analogy. Picture a stretch limousine, and you think you're the driver. But the truth is, you're really in the back seat. Put your feet up, let the driver drive, and enjoy the ride. And he was laughing and laughing and laughing. He had discovered the secret. Now, you have to understand the context. He was bedridden from a cancer journey. A very handsome man, bedridden from a cancer journey. And he was radiant. I don't think I would be radiant. Do you think you'd be radiant? I don't suspect so, but he was. But did I understand it? No. I laughed as though I did, but knowing him, he knew I was feigning it. I laughed and said, oh, that's so brilliant. Oh, I got it. That's the C. Oh, how wonderful. B and S, because I had no clue. Fast forward 6 months, I'm on a mountaintop in Costa Rica. And there's this enlightened, awakened master who was American, who awakened while in federal prison under a drug charge. I mean, come on, folks, who can make stuff like this up? Anyway, he started out by, and we were like 8 people in a very tight group, all law of attraction, way before law of attraction. This is 1998. So he said, what I'm about to tell you about my awakening is probably going to be very challenging to all you people who believe you create your reality. He said, but I'm going to say it anyhow. You think you have free will, and you do as far as the illusion of the game you're here to play. But really, there is no such thing. It's all alignment with a higher force that is you. Well, everybody's like, what? And he said, let me explain it by an analogy. Now listen carefully and be me in hearing this. And he said, picture a stretch limousine. You think you're the driver. You're really in the backseat at this point. I was like clawing into the leather couch with my nails, freaking out. And he changed it just a significant bit, with a baby plastic steering wheel in front of you that you get to play with. And when the car turns left, you think you created that. The car was going to turn left anyhow. Okay, I now heard it in stereo, and I would teach always. And to your word of sovereignty, Jessa and Michelle, sovereignty is when you can listen to your intuition and be guided. To me, it's guidance from a higher power of alignment.
Mhm.
However, we often hit the override button because our ego just, I want you to put the brakes on if it was a car, I hit the override button. Yeah, just let me get out. I don't want to do this.
Mhm.
And instead, what I heard was now when I teach, if that happens and you get stereo, you better pay attention. It's no longer an optional guidance. Well, now here it was, two different men in different years. Do you think I got the message? I'm now going to turn it over to you beautiful goddesses and the rest of the group, which I cannot see anybody's name, so otherwise I would be interacting with you.
Well, we've got Miche. She says hi.
Oh, hi, and love, 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 Miche. Okay,
She's
so
here.
the question is, and I will give you the answer because, oh, should I ask you both to answer the question before I give the answer to the riddle?
Sure.
Absolutely.
I might know the answer.
Okay, so who's in the front seat? Who's in the back seat?
I've already gotten this mentoring, so I'm going to let her answer.
Okay.
I'm in the back seat observing.
Now, who's the I'm in the back seat observing? Who's the
The observer. The observer.
You're very close. Come on, Michelle. Give me a little bit more. Who's in the front seat?
The,
You're on the love seat
who's in
right
the
now.
front seat?
Let's give Michelle a lot of energy and love because she's in the love seat. Who's in your driver's seat?
Who's in the driver's seat? The driver's seat is the higher power.
The I am.
The I am.
I am.
The higher power. I am the higher power.
Right, but how many of us identify on a daily basis with the I am and not the little me? Therein is your answer, little me back seat, big me front seat.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how you know the difference. I'm going to give a supreme secret, so everybody open your ears wide. Listen to this wide. It's called in pace. Pace yourself. This is how you know when you're aligned with higher power. P, peace of mind instead of mind in pieces. So when you're having a mind meltdown, you're not aligned with the I am of your higher self and soul. A, amusement. If you truly are the creator, guess what? It's all absurd because it's you playing with you. Well, if I want to be naughty, which I will be because I'm hiding behind my avatar tonight, and that is called divine masturbation. You're doing yourself. Yes, you're the I am and you're the little I playing with each other.
Oh my God, I can't touch it.
Okay.
C, living in the question, curiosity like a child. Children are innocent. They live in the question. Everything is a curiosity. You don't figure it out. You don't have the answers. You're waiting to see what comes next.
Exactly.
And then E, you're empowered at all times because if you attracted or created the problem, I like to say attracted when the conscious mind is not involved. And I like to say, created when the conscious mind is involved, just to give us a little breather space and a little kindness, but it's the same thing. Since you created or attracted the problem, guess who has the answers? It's not outside yourself. It's not in some guru or some course. It's you, baby. It's all about you. Pace yourself to go from fear to faith. Get the I am in the driver's seat and the ego in the back seat and enjoy the ride.
Love it.
I love that. That last piece especially, I remember taking Michelle through my own version of that. It's all there. It's all there. You don't even need my help. I'm just a reflection for you.
Yeah.
Expanded for her.
Yeah. And it's really, but have compassion, everybody, with yourself. If you got it right, ding, ding, ding. Because when I first did the movie premiere, I said, in an audience of people, I said, who can answer this question? Whoever does gets a prize. I was like Oprah, you get a book, you get a book, you get a book. I was giving away my books like crazy to anybody who got it. Only one person got it. And that's because we are conditioned to think we are the mind or the ego or the personality. We have a mind. We are not the mind. We have emotions. We are not the emotions. We have all of it, but we are not that. We are so much bigger than that. But here's a fun story. This is how I finally got it. And it took me from 1998 when I heard it to 2000 and I think 3 or 4 when it landed. And this is how it landed. I was driving with my little Starsky Shih Tzu puppy in a Sherpa bag. He had just gotten groomed. And he was just whining, and everybody who's got children, whether they're furry or not, it doesn't matter. When kids are whining, you want to take care of them, especially when you love them and they're hurting. So I opened the zipper ever so slightly so I could put 2 fingers to touch his little head. Don't ask me how he got out of it. It was like a divine birth out of a Sherpa bag. He's on my lap with his paws on the driving steering wheel. And he's having the time of his life. He is driving the Jaguar. And I am watching Starsky have the time of his life. And that's when I went, oh, we're Starsky. We are the Starskys thinking we're driving.
And it
He
feels
was fully believing he was driving the car. But the I am. And at that moment, William, my beloved from beyond, just said, gotcha. And he knew that that's when I finally got the message. So,
oh my gosh.
with
Yeah.
those 2 little pieces, you can enjoy the ride. Everybody deserves to have the smoothest ride with the least bumps and bruises. And when the I am is in the driver's seat with its hands on the wheel, and by that word of PACE, the acronym will give it to you, you're aligned with your soul's blueprint. That's the highest and best version of you with the highest and best extraordinary journey, extraordinary, that you're meant to have.
Oh, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Again, back to why these are my mentors.
We're all mentors for each other, my love.
We all kind of go around the circle sometimes.
Mhm.
Each other. But that story, I remember when I first heard that story, I was in a very vulnerable spot. And first of all, I needed to laugh really badly. Really needed to laugh. But it opened my eyes to the fact that I was trying too damn hard to make something of myself because my ego was trying to be like, no, we got to do that. We got to do that. Remember when everything was great? Everybody thought you were great. I was trying way too hard to please the observer. Make sure that the observer liked what it saw as opposed to what I'm really here to be doing. And that was
that takes a lot of courage to share that. So I honor you, Jessa.
Thank you.
Because the ego needs a lot of spiritual systems, or you've heard this, kill the ego, or what I call perfume the ego, which means bury your emotions and pretend everything's fine when you're really having rage fits and you are seeing the positive side of things, or you're doing your affirmations while they're coming out of your asshole, but you don't believe a damn thing because the subconscious is going, liar, liar, pants on fire.
Yeah,
That
you're
is
in your authenticity, and you can't be sovereign if you're still allowing other programs to run the game.
Exactly. You know when you're sovereign, when you feel free, and you're at the word pace, and you really are enjoying the journey. You're either seeing the humor of it all, or you're at least at peace of mind, if not joy.
Yeah, and that's when you find that grace and that ease where you're not fighting
exactly
the observer to create something that only serves the observer.
Exactly. And in fairness, when I went through my grieving journey, it was a really crazy grieving journey because the part of me that was mere mortal, like we all have both sides, we have the dualistic nature of our visible and invisible sides. And the part of me that was mortal was crying and having a lot of heartbreak. Well, the part of me that was the observer, but the higher self-observer was going, bravo, bravo, more grief, like you're watching a play on Broadway.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah. We are so powerful and bigger than we appear to be.
That's huge.
And sometimes here's a gift in a strange form. Everything is either a blessing. That's when we can spot it and enjoy it and say, oh, thank you. This is so yummy. This is so good. Or, and here's the rub, it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, they were some ugly disguises.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
And
were
our job is to
Get these.
not be victimized by the disguise.
Mhm.
Yes, we were talking about this very thing earlier tonight.
Mhm.
We were talking about how there are no accidents in life.
No
Right.
accidents, no coincidences, and no
Right.
mistakes.
There's
Tiana
no-
says this to me at least once a week.
No,
Well, it's not proven by quantum physics.
Yeah.
So when we take that as our ground zero, it strengthens our victory instead of our victimization.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
and learning the discernment of when to say no,
Ugh.
that doesn't work for me.
Say more, Michelle.
Okay, so learning to say no is virtually almost like impossible, especially as a woman.
Mm.
We are programmed at a very, very little age to say yes, please,
Mhm.
and basically keep small.
Yes.
To please the people in the group.
Don't rock the boat. Everything is.
It's survival. It's survival. If we don't do that at that little age, we're doomed.
And those of
Correct.
you who know my story, it was that on a whole nother level.
Yes.
I was going.
Yes.
Right, right. So the thing is why the three of us really can take that to the next level of connecting how that mind and body can have an awakening. So if we incorporate all of our wisdom,
Mhm.
then we can actually keep activating that
Exactly.
opportunity. That's an accident, correct? It's an
Mhm.
opportunity.
Yes.
It's not an accident.
Mm-mm.
That's not going to give us an opportunity, but it's actually the gateway of the freedom.
Mhm.
Yes, I love the way she said that just now. Wasn't that hot?
That was juicy. We are
The
using that
gateway. Gateway to
mic
freedom.
drop, right?
Mic drop. Okay, so understand this is not even a rehearsed
Oh God, no.
We're all off the cuff here.
at all. We did not write out a script. Yeah, we put down a
The
few
notes.
notes to try to stay focused, but it's the higher power being channeled through me.
This is the way.
And why? Why is
Yes.
this higher power doing this? Because it's for the greater
Greater
good. Greater good. The greater good. Let's all say it together. The greater.
Good. And what I like to say, we are all here, all of the three of us, as well as all listening now and to the replays, for humanity's awakening.
Yes.
Greater leadership of light.
Exactly. So Tiana, I want us to put a pin in that, the leadership of light.
Yay! That's a mic drop. You taught me mic drop.
Mic drop, but I want to come back to it. I want us to drop that mic in like 5 minutes. Hold on to it.
Hold on. Hold on.
Hold the
So what I want to talk about is the program that Jessa and I and Martine
Mhm.
DeLuna, who is in the audience
She's
watching, has birthed and created during the COVID-19 pandemic situation of, oh my God, I can't see my clients now. So, oh, that's a good thing that I've been working towards an online portfolio for the
Exactly.
past 5 years. But I just felt I just wasn't getting my message clear.
Mhm.
So, higher power, angels around, said, you know who you need to talk to. Jessa Grace, Martine DeLuna, they've got it going. You see their message, it's clear. And what is clarity? Kindness,
Mhm.
right? So I have birthed this amazing, amazing body intelligence program which is, what is body intelligence? It's exactly that. It's taking the mind and the body and activating what it already knows. And even more exciting is this secret. Are we going to tell them the secret about this amazing?
I'm letting you play.
I love this. This is perfect. She's just kind of going with it.
I'm gonna back now. She's gonna finish up for me then.
You guys can't leave me here. You stay right here now. Okay, so the body intelligence needs something else besides the process, right? We need the activation. We can activate ourselves absolutely by eating and drinking and being aware of our posture and how we sit and how we take care of ourselves and how we actually do our daily basic ease and flow practice. But we also need a little bump in connecting the stress that we need to relieve so we can have a more efficient immune system.
Yes.
This is the key ingredient that was missing, and I didn't even realize it this weekend. Okay.
I tricked her, you guys.
She did not trick me. Basically, I had pain in my back, in my neck, and Jessa says, "Oh, this is what I do for my pain." And she gave me the little secret we will be talking about more in detail.
Yes.
And I put it on my back, and within, I'd say 45 minutes, the pain went from like an 8 out of a 10 down to about a 3. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. What exactly is this doing? And then that's when I learned that this is the component of taking the intelligence of our body and returning it back to its nature, its true nature.
To its sovereign state.
Sovereign state.
Yes.
Okay, so there we go. This is why I am so excited. I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm literally ready to explode. So I am just gonna leave it at that and let Dr. Tiana and Jessa take the reign of introducing the next thing that is going to be the game changer.
Yes.
Okay?
This is big, you guys, and I'm so excited that she's so excited. I've been using this thing I'm going to let Tiana announce it and explain it more to you because she's been with it a lot longer than I. So Michelle uses it combined with her own practice of her mind-body intelligence, which is just a no-brainer. And I love the way that Dr. Tiana uses the same thing in kind of the same way, but with her practice of the GPS code, helping you to take whatever's happening in your world and literally transmute it in the kindest, almost fun and funny way with her code, her GPS code. I'm going to give links to both of their things in the description after this. But for me personally, when I discovered it, I was not really in the same position as most people who use this. They are in some physical pain, or they're healing from something, or they need to boost their immune systems, or what are some of the other things, losing weight, that kind of thing. I don't really need any of these, but I am very attuned with my own energy and the way that I'm feeling, the way that I'm able to show up. And that is what I use. It's also my #1 beauty secret. So anybody who wants to know my routine, stick around. It helps me stay vibrant and strong and true to myself in a way that helps me to actually show up for these wonderful people and everybody else, those of you here, to actually stay in my truth, my authenticity, and my sovereignty, because it really helps me stay centered and in myself. And I love it. I've been using it for February, Tiana? Is that when you first?
I think so.
February. Yes. And it's now time for me to come out really loud and really proud and strong and share it with you guys. So I'm going to actually let Tiana wrap it up with her GPS code. You do not want to leave here without hearing about her GPS code and how her program and this this magical thing. It's not magic, I promise. It's not magic. It's science. It's real. They're like soup and sandwich together, and the way that they work. And I am really honored. I mean, just recently, Tiana was like, "Can I put my magic and your magic together with a patch?" And oh my gosh, I was like, "Yes, let's do that." Yes, I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm glad. I'm blessed. I'm so excited to be able to share this with everybody that I know and love and trust. I can't tell you how many times I've overnighted this. So it's going to bless us with your wisdom and knowledge behind it, because we're both relatively new to it, and we want to have you as our leader and to help us introduce it to everybody.
Well, I'm honored, but I want to give a really wonderful shout out to both you and Michelle. And Michelle said something very interesting when she said the sovereignty, as you did, Jess, the sovereignty, and you said hand the reins over. Mm-hmm. Well, if you notice, the word reins are in sovereignty. Mm-hmm. So I received the image of our bodies are like this wild stallion, and you're handing the reins to the rider who knows how to ride the stallion for the best ride. Even though my own work uses the car analogy, somehow when you said turn the reins over, Michelle, and the sovereignty word and reins are in sovereignty, I was like,
oh, mind works.
Yeah, it's to set yourself free. Set yourself free like a stallion would be free.
And this helps you to physically, energetically do that, and also financially.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You just took my tagline away. Are you ready to be free from stress and pain? That's my tagline.
Well, I can honestly say no one told me, so it just shows that it resonates.
The alignment is true.
Yeah, I didn't know that, Michelle, and it shows that we are all aligned with that message, which is delicious. But I'm going to take everybody back to a 9-year-old child's dream. And I thought it was a dream. I now realize it was a prophecy. I even used to say maybe a precognitive dream, but no, it was a prophecy. A woman came from the stars and put something into my hands. And she said, "You're too young to understand this, but one day you will. You are made of energy. You are light. And so is everyone else." And I was like a curious child, and I was excited. And she put this ball of light into my hand, and I turned to light. Well, especially being a Sagittarian, we have to share the experience. So I turned to someone, gave them the ball of light. They turned to light. Then the globe of the world, which was in the background, that was on the tipping point of dark and light, because as a child, I saw lots of boo-boos. Boo-boos with health, boo-boos with wealth, boo-boos with relationship. As each person grabbed this ball of light, they turned to light. And the world, the globe, turned to light at its tipping point. That tipping point is now. We are at that tipping point. And the ball of light, the code of GPS code, contains the light codes of the soul's awakening for each one. Each one of us was born with a soul's blueprint. No one came in without it. It was veiled, conditioned over by well-meaning or not well-meaning parents, because they were also veiled over. And then we get glimpses here or there, either during periods of great heartbreak, when the ego loses its control, or periods of great ecstasy where you melt into the oneness of all that is and you forget that you have a body. Whether it's looking into the eyes of a beautiful child or having the most incredible orgasmic experience, it's that dissolving into light. Well, we are that. So the GPS code gives that expansion into light. There's not much information to it. And I make a joke. I mean, there's transformation through practice, but not a lot of information once you get the basic code. But the key is not to let the ego take you out of the game by saying, "I know that," because they're universal principles. I know that. unless you're living born free, free in your mind, no mind chatter that takes you out, no negative thinking at all ever, or if it comes in, it's in a millisecond dissolved into light, or emotions that eat at you, gnaw at you, and get you reactive and reacting behavior. That's not happening, and then you are free. And the money's just flowing freely into your life because you're so aligned with your soul's wealth that it's gushing. Then you can tell me you're free. Your body has no aches, no pains whatsoever, no signs of aging, and no disease. Then you are your soul self in complete expression.
Mhm.
However, for myself, as well as I'm sure anybody who's being honest, that is not the case. We're blessed if we're like aware of these issues to begin with. So even what you said, Michelle, the are you ready, or are you free, or are you, that points the car, the horse, whatever, in the right direction, or the aligned direction. I don't like right and wrong, the aligned direction. But imagine if you could put the fuel to your soul's blueprint on autopilot. Well, I'm sure Michelle's program, Jess's program, and the GPS code is the yin part of that ball of light. And the yang part is for the body's immune support. And that's our secret sauce.
Roll, please.
Jessa will get to reveal.
Okay.
All right, let me just add, the body intelligence is a learning activation for people who are ready to let go of their physical pain and aches, to release their stuck energy in mind, body, and are so ready to move with flow. Flow is the key ingredient. That's why when Jessa and I started co-creating and collaborating, we kept looking at each other and finishing each other's sentences. It was crazy. It was like, okay, this is. Did you just think that? Okay, wait a minute. I had a dream. No, you had that dream. Oh my God.
Whose dream was that?
Whose dream was that? Okay. So it's about this uncertainty right now that we just need to really kind of embrace and not go into this place of fear, but really just embrace it in a way that we can manage it. It's about managing the emotions. Mm-hmm. And that's how the flow code with the other codes all work together.
And I'm going to be a little naughty and up-level us even more, because beyond the flow code and beyond the GPS code is your unique soul code. The soul speaks through the cellular intelligence.
That is
when you bump a toe, when you have any issue, yeah, most people look at the physical. Some people are evolved enough to look at the root cause in the environment or this or that. But the true thing is your soul is speaking through the symptom. I knew that at age 5.
And that's
I started getting paid to tell people what I saw at age 7. And I have only been an eternal entrepreneur. So when the three of us are joining forces for our awakening, for your awakening, for what I used to call the ripple effect, we're going for the tsunami effect of light.
Boom. I'm just going to do a cannonball and see what happens. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So everybody, Tiana, you said it so perfectly. Our soul's blueprint is in our cellular truth, right? How did you say exactly? How did you say?
Yes.
I'm so excited. I was like,
you got it beautifully. You articulated it perfectly.
So what this is, I'm going to get it to you now, okay? It's something very
Let's do a drum roll. Michelle, we do a drum roll, me and you for Jessa.
All right, so everybody, you've probably all heard me at least talk about this once or twice.
Wait a minute, I got better than that. Okay. Wait a minute.
Oh, yes, that's so perfect.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, we had it.
before she speaks. Ready,
Okay, guys.
everyone?
Wait, one more minute.
Oh God, yes, yes.
One more.
All right, see,
Thank you, Michelle. That was perfect.
no more, no more. You rub me later. I'm gonna get it out there. All right, so you've all heard me talk about this in almost every single one of my lives, but I'm talking about my flow states and what I use. And this one, I'm going to just get specific with you because we've gotten a lot of questions. And then I put one on her and she was like, why are we talking about this? So everybody, it's the patches. Heard me talk about the patches. They are the Life Wave patches. If you want more information on them, please let me know. There are multiple different kinds of patches, but the magic that I put on her, that I use on myself, my children, is the X39 patch, these ones here. And they are just a patch. And Tiana, let me know if I get this wrong, but they do not actually put anything into your body. They use the infrared light and the science behind it to put your actual neurological system, or whichever system it is that we're working with, depending on which patch, back to its truth, back to its sovereignty, so that you start working with that flow again. Does that make sense?
Said perfectly. And think of it, to make it real easy. Think of being bathed in light with the sun.
Exactly.
The sun does not do anything invasive. It just brings light vibration into your body cells. And then lo and behold, your body produces vitamin D.
Exactly.
What a concept. The body knows how to heal itself. What a concept. We are miracle organisms that everybody wants us to think we're just what? A pharmaceutical mismatch here?
We're not all meant to just be sitting around degrading all the time.
Exactly.
The X39 ones, these are the stem cell patches. I mean, your body.
Exactly. And
they're not
the
expensive.
secret of the stem cell patches. You notice how children, especially babies, they'll get injured or they'll have a problem, but they bounce back so quickly because
I remember the boys.
million stem cells.
It's fine.
And they tell us, for us, not you, Jessa, who are over 60, they say, oh, you're going to age now. Your body's not going to be the same. Oh my God, you're going to heal slower. Your body's just not the same. And I thought, what are they effing talking about aside from a belief structure?
Right.
What they were stumbling on is there's only 10% of stem cells left by the time you're 60.
Right.
Except if you're using X39, which is an affordable breakthrough.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's inexpensive.
It's history making. The pharmaceuticals could not rival what David Schmidt did through science, through technology that is non-invasive, non-transdermal, and is patented by the U.S. government and the double-blind studies.
Yeah.
We've got science matching spirituality. Ta-da! Does it get any better than that?
That's one of the things about me personally and these patches is I have many conversations with many people who use these patches. I've heard hundreds of amazing stories. I'm generally the youngest one in the room.
Yes, you are.
So I use them for a little bit of a different thing. I'm going to probably use them for the rest of my life, depending on what it is. But for me personally, I use it to stay in my truth. I use it to stay vibrant, to stay full of grit and grace at the same time. It's also, people ask, how do you look that young? What's going on? I'm going to be 38 on December 21st. And this is my biggest secret. They also have some really great morning and evening lotions that are great as well.
Oh, they are the most delicious lotions possible.
But it keeps me young. I mean, we sat down and I was like, oh, maybe I'll put some powder on my face. So I was like, all right.
And I'm going to say another secret. You ready for another secret that we usually don't say, but I know your tribe, Jessa and Michelle, and my own can understand this. We are beings of light and energy.
Exactly.
Raising the light and energy. And guess what? Your vibration raises. Your vibration raises. You attract your dreams and radiate out your soul's blueprint much easier than you could ever imagine. And I have to add, we are Team Starsky. My little Shih Tzu, who had heart failure 2 days after his 16th birthday, and we were going through the whole death review and appreciation of his life and going away. He is now 17 and a half years old because in 1 hour, I watched clairvoyantly as his body, which all the organs had shut down, all popped like light, like a pinball machine. And within an hour, a dog that had the cremation papers ready to be drawn up. Mind you, not euthanistic, because we weren't going to do that. He did not want to be put down. He wanted to do it his way. Well, his way was to rebirth. And we now call him from the Bible, the Lazarus pup. But
met Starsky, everyone. He is incredible.
yes, he has his own Facebook page. He has his own Facebook page. And he showed us the way, because animals have no placebo effect. So if anybody's thinking of placebo, this is not placebo. Animals have no placebo effect.
Neither do children. I've used it on the boys for different reasons.
Also, just they're even younger than you using the patch.
They were 4 and 6 when I used it on them.
Exactly, because it's non-toxic, and it really does what the true Hippocratic Oath is about. First, do no harm. And for those light workers that could and need to or could enjoy having cash flow to empower your soul's calling, so you can do it in a way that's aligned with your soul's calling.
Exactly.
There is an incredible opportunity, and
This
we are an incredible team.
Back to your mic drop.
This is the mic drop.
Here you go. You can now drop your mic.
Okay. I'm still learning this mic drop thing. I thought I did it before.
Enlightened
Well, you had put it to the side so I could blah, blah, blah talk. And now we're back to your mic. Here it is.
Okay, we got it. So we invite anyone who, Michelle, say it the way you say. Are you ready to be free? Say it your way.
Okay. So
I put it on her side.
Are you ready to be free from stress and pain?
Mazel tov.
Love that. That's perfect.
If you are ready to be free of stress and pain, we have solutions. SOUL. I can't even spell it correctly, but I did my best. Between the flow code, the GPS code, and LifeWave, you've got the trifecta of awakening.
Yes. And the body intelligence. Don't forget that.
Oh, I called that the flow code. That's not the flow code. That's body intelligence. Got it. Yes. Let's do that again. That's a take 2, like in the
We've got the body intelligence. We've got the GPS code, and we have the flow code.
And we embrace it with LifeWave for the acceleration. And that's the ultimate awakening on autopilot.
Shortcuts in life. There is one that I have found.
Yes.
One.
I think that's a take.
That's it, ladies.
That's it.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
If you want information on anything, lots of opportunities here, all attainable, ready for you, waiting for you. And oh my gosh, there's even so much more coming. I'm going to need a glass of water if we go down.
We have so much. I mean, there's so many juicy tips, tools, services, free boot camps. I mean, there's
and you get to self-select. This is just an invitation for you to self-select. And the only word I'm going to change is if. Because really, if at this point in time, it's when.
It's when you're
ready. I would say
now.
Sooner is better than later. Carpe diem.
Here, there's no risk in this. There's no chemicals in this. It's scientifically proven.
Exactly. And there's a money back guarantee. Plus, our work is also non-toxic, non-invasive, and all of our work aligns with soul. So pick and choose. You have a smorgasbord for your awakening.
This is the way. This is the way.
I have spoken.
Well, I would just say the way. It's a way that we found is on autopilot and jumpstart. Exactly. People might want other ways. If they want to take the toll road and keep struggling and suffering and doing the old paradigm, they can do that way too. This is the way for
This
the
is
new
a
paradigm.
great way that all three of us from different walks of life have used for
Exactly.
different reasons that brought us all to the same space.
And that is,
That's powerful.
that's it.
That's it. I think that's it.
That's it. You know how the old cartoons would say, that's a wrap. So let's all have a virtual hug. First, a real hug for ourselves. Hug yourself. Hug yourself first. Then hug your partner. Then open it up to the world.
Okay. We love you,
all.
world.
Love you, world. Love you, community. Love you, tribe.
Love you, everybody. I'll get to you in the comments.
Bye.
We'll be answering any questions. Thank you so much for joining.
All right, we'll see
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Kisses.